A sprinkle of gold dust might sound like the act of a fairy godmother from a children's film, but the wonder treatment has been given to a genetically modified wheat to transport extra genes into the plant. Researchers hope the wonder wheat, which may soon be grown in the UK, will one day help feed the world. There are several reasons why people are concerned with the use of GM crops, but the researchers are certain the methods used are entirely safe. British scientists are planning the world's first field trials of a gram spring wheat with added genes to improve yield by enhancing its ability to tap the sun's energy. Tiny gold particles coated with DNA will be used to transport the extra genes into the plant. The idea is to blow the gold dust over germinating wheat seeds, some of which will incorporate it into their genomes. Those that have been successfully modified will be selected for planting. If successful, the proof of concept study at Rothamsted Research in Harpenden could lead to similar work aimed at boosting photosynthesis in other staple crops such as rice and maize. Some people have concerns over GM foods. For this reason, several countries have adopted strategies to keep GM crops separate from conventional crops. The main topics of debate include the possibility of transferring a gene from an allergenic plant to a non-allergenic plant. But to date, no allergic effects have been found in GM foods currently on the market. There are also concerns over the risk that genes from a gram food will be transferred to the cells of the body or bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract is considered low. But Dr. Malcolm Hawkesford, head of plant biology and crop science at Rothamsted Research, said the process was entirely safe. He said the changes will not be seen in the finished product. Although none of the wheat would be consumed, there is no reason to think it could be toxic or harmful to human health, Dr. Hawkesford stressed. In earlier glasshouse experiments using potted plants, the genetically engineered wheat produced yields 20 to 40% higher than normal. Scientists are not banking on the same success in field trials, but claim even a small yield increase would be hugely significant. After decades of growth, worldwide wheat production has plateaued. Conventional methods of improving wheat yields appear to have stalled, yet global demand for flour and bread is set to soar. By the middle of the century, the world's population is predicted to hit 9 billion. To feed everyone, it is estimated that food production will have to increase by 40% in the next 20 years and 70% by 2050. Professor Christine Rains, head of biological sciences at the University of Essex and the research project's principal investigator, pointed out that in 1977 wheat production was increasing at a rate of 30% a year. Today, growth was almost zero. She said, if you bring the growing population together with this plateau, you can see we definitely have a gap and we need to feed the world. We really do have an impending major food shortage across the globe. The scientists have just submitted an application to the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs for permission to carry out the trials at Rothamsted in 2017 and 2018. A final decision is expected in about 3 months' time after a period of public consultation. It is likely the team will be allowed to go ahead with the research, which will involve growing the GM wheat in 8 6.5 foot by 19.6 foot field plots. 2 versions of the wheat will be planted, both with extra copies of a gene that makes the enzyme SBPASE, which plays an important role in photosynthesis. One will have 2 extra copies of the gene and the other 6. The genetic tweaking will allow the plants to absorb more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Carbon is one of the raw ingredients plants use to make sugar through photosynthesis, a complex chemical process powered by energy from sunlight. Dr. Malcolm Hawkesford said chances of the GM wheat sharing its genes with wild or farm plants outside the facility was very low. A 9.8-foot pollen barrier would be placed around the plots and the whole site surrounded by a 65-foot plant-free buffer zone. This is a naturally occurring protein, he said. What we're doing is slightly increasing the copy number. It's not actually found in flour. It wouldn't be part of the consumed product. But Liz O'Neill, director of GM Free, said world food production already far exceeds the needs of generations to come, but people still go hungry. Techno fixes like GM wheat won't change that because they don't address the real problems. Opponents also point out that previous GM crops such as soy and maize failed to deliver expected yield increases.